In this video, I'll be reviewing the Jaybird Run XT wireless earbuds. Now, I used to call this style of earbud wireless, but these are totally wireless. The first thing that I want to do is state the big advantage of using the Run XTs versus other styles like the X4s. And by the way, I've been using Jaybird for many years for the main reason I love the sound quality, and the fit has gotten so good over the years. But with the X4s or similar style, if you turn your head, the cable will rub on your neck when you're working out because you get sweaty, your neck gets sweaty. If you're running, if you're in the gym, if you're riding a bike, the cable can kind of move back and forth, and then you turn and it can kind of pull it out of your ears. With the Run XTs, you absolutely don't have that issue. So the fit on the Run XTs is really good. You get a huge variety of fins and ear tips that you can go through and figure out which combination works best for you. But I just use the stock ones that came with it, the ones that were already installed. The way I do this is I just put it in my ears, and then you can either rock it forward or rock it back depending on what works best for you. Now, I personally have had no issues with the earbuds falling out of my ears. I did read a review that someone said they were on a treadmill and they kept falling out of their ears. I haven't had that issue. Once I get these in, not only do they stay in, but they also give a really tight seal, which for me is very important when working out because I need the ambient noise blocked out, and these do it very well. All right, so let's look at these up close. So like most wireless earbuds today, they come with their own charging case. And the way this works is when you open the charging case, the earbuds will come on. And then of course, when you close the charging case, once you put them in, the earbuds will shut off. Like I said, this will charge the earbuds, and these two lights will go solid green when they are fully charged. If they are charging, the lights will blink. Now, I have not fully tested the capacity of these, but Jaybird says that you will get 4 hours of runtime with them fully charged, and then you get 2 full charges in the case, so you can put them back in and recharge them twice. You do get a USB cable to charge them, and the cable plugs in the back, and it is a micro USB. In my perfect world, everything would be USB-C. I do not like micro USB, but hey, it's the way a lot of things are. So you just plug in the case, and the light on the case will blink when it's charging and will go solid green when the case is fully charged. When the earbuds come on, you will hear a voice that tells you how charged they are. So it'll say fully charged or give you a percentage. Now, if you did not have the case with you, you could turn these on by holding down the button on each earbud for 3 seconds. And again, if you did not have the case with you, you would turn them off by holding down either earbud button for 3 seconds, and you'll see a little red light come on when they're shutting off. Just a note that there are no magnets in the case. What gets them to start charging is when you push the lid closed. By pushing them down, will have the earbuds start charging. Jaybird says that a 5-minute charge will give these 1 hour of playtime, but if you're charging from a low battery up to fully charged, it could take 2 hours to charge the earbuds. Also, the earbuds will power off by themselves with 30 minutes of non-use. The first time you use these, of course, you'll need to pair them with your phone, and the way that you do that with the earbuds powered off, you would hold down the right one for about 6 seconds as you power them on, and then it'll ask you to pair them in your Bluetooth settings. The first time that I used these, I had an issue with the left one not connecting with the right one. I had to follow the instructions to do a hard reset. You can find that in the Jaybird community on their website. I think it may even be in the instructions, but it took about, I don't know, a minute or so. And after the hard reset, the left one connected to the right one, no problem. And I did not have any issues after that. So as I mentioned earlier, the thing that I really like about the Jaybird earbuds is the sound quality. The X4s are so good. So how is the sound quality on the XTs? It's good, it's really good. When I first started to use them, I thought the bass was a little lacking. And then I remembered, oh yeah, there's the app, which you can totally fine tune the equalizer of these with the app that's available on Android or iOS. Once I got the EQ set like I liked it for the XTs, I feel like they sound pretty much as good as the X4s. If I had to pick a winner, I would probably say the X4s by a little bit. I feel like the sound is maybe just a little bit richer, a little bit fuller on the X4s, but like all Jaybird products, the highs are very clear, the mids are clear, the bass is strong. I'm not going to show you how to do it on the app, but tuning the equalizer, you can just get these set up just to your liking. And then of course in the app you can save different presets, so if you have different styles of music that you like different equalizer, you can save that, which I think that's what kind of sets Jaybird apart from other earbuds that I've used, is that app. It's just really good. Now the only downside to the app is I've been testing this on an Android and an iOS device, a Google Pixel 3 XL and an iPhone 6s. Unfortunately, with the Android app, when you have the music playing and then you switch over to the app, the music cuts out and you can't tune the earbuds really well without hearing that music. You have to switch back over to your music app, back over to the Jaybird app. Hopefully that'll be fixed, but unfortunately it's kind of a pattern that I've found with a lot of third-party apps. They just seem to work better on iOS. All the other functionality works just as well on Android and on iOS, but I just wanted to mention that for you Android users out there. Now what's also cool about these is the fact that you can take phone calls on them. And if you're working out, it's so convenient to not have to pull the phone out of your pocket and answer the calls. So you would just tap the right button and that'll pick up the call, and then if you tap it again, it'll hang it up. Now what's nice about these is they're designed so that only the right earbud can work. So if you're wanting to take phone calls and you don't want to put both in your ears, you just want to use them, as an earphone for calls, you could just use the right one and control it from here. Now I mentioned a lot of the advantages of these, not having the cord, using just the right one for calls. The disadvantage compared to something like the X4s is you don't have as many controls with the buttons. So by default, these do not have volume control. So the left one, you push it and it will go to Siri or Google Assistant, and then the right one is to skip. So if you double click, it'll skip, and then if you push it once, it'll play and pause the music. Now one advantage to using these on Android is you actually can kind of control the volume with Google Assistant. So you can tap the left button and you can say, set the volume at 50% or turn the volume up by 10%. That doesn't work on iOS. Now I will say, if you're running or riding a bike, you are going to have to slow down a little bit so it can understand you, because a lot of that wind will cause the voice to not pick you up as well. But if you want to slow down and then set the volume that way, you can. Now you can use the app to change the buttons around. So you can set it so that the left earbud is volume down and then the right earbud is volume up, and then accept and then calls. And by the way, if you do that, I found that if you double click, you can still skip music. So like I said, the trade-off of being pure wireless is the fact that you don't have quite as much functionality. Of course, you have to ask yourself if 4 hours runtime is enough on the Run XT versus other Jaybird earphones like the X4s, which have an 8-hour runtime. For me, my workouts are between 1 and 2 hours where I'll use earphones, and so it's plenty. And it's nice also having the charging case so that when I throw them in my bag and put them back in the charging case, they will charge up between workouts. With these in your ears, you can do all the things that you would normally be able to do with Siri or Google Assistant by pressing the left button, so checking the weather, sending text messages. Now, one final disadvantage that I'll mention with these compared to the X4s is sound delay when watching videos. So I would not recommend these if you're wanting to use them to watch video. Now, if you're just listening to music, walking around the house, whatever, they're fine. I don't get any sound delay with the X4s, but there is, it's almost a second between the video and these, so just consider that. So that will wrap up my review of the Jaybird Run XTs. Hopefully I've given you enough things to think about to consider if they're worth the extra money compared to something like the X4s. And as always, any questions or comments about this video or the Run XTs, drop those below. If you've used these, I'd love to know your opinion on how you think they work. Thanks for watching.